Whoa, whoa, whoa! Is that it? Are we on? All right. What's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday evening here in Houston, Texas, from Savarese Fight Fit for Lights Out with Lou Savarese, with myself, Jeff, Michael, Grant Miles, and of course the infamous Lou Savarese.
I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff going on in boxing, guys. What do we got?
Man, there is a lot of stuff. The fights this past weekend were entertaining, man. I'm sorry, but they were. And we're going to get into that. They were definitely entertaining. I ordered them and watched them.
In what sense?
It was entertaining. It was fun to watch. The Ward fight was phenomenal.
Okay. I'll give you that.
But we're going to get into it. But once again, welcome into Lights Out with Lou Savarese, Jeff, Michael, Grant Miles. Lou over there. We're coming to you live from Savarese Fight Fit. Man, this place is amazing, as always. And Lou, you were just asking how many kids were in the class that you had earlier.
We had to expand our kids' class room. We made the room twice the size.
I saw you did some demo over there.
Yeah, we had to. It's a good thing. It was dictated by need, so we're excited. A lot of kids are coming, and it's been great since the COVID. Seems like people are settling down and things are working well, so we're pretty pumped up, man.
Where's your office now?
I don't have an office, buddy.
But what'd y'all use that space for?
Why is
well, now it's all one room.
the intro is going again?
It's all one room now.
Okay.
Yeah, we needed to. I'm watching my dad lock himself in the bathroom when he was trying to fix the door, and it's just easy to get people to know what they're doing. It's easy to get people to know what they're doing.
That's great. I like that.
He's a character. He's a New York character. I was thinking about my aunt, but my aunt, it's kind of late for her, you know.
It's kind of late?
Old, yeah. And
How old is your aunt?
So I got to prep her. Aunt Audrey is probably 81.
81? Okay.
Yeah. I got to have to prep her a little bit and see if she goes to bed early that night before so she can stay up late that night.
Okay. All right.
Stuff. This past weekend, very, very, very interesting stuff happened in the world of boxing. Everybody, I don't want to say was excited to watch this Mayweather and Logan Paul clash, but I ordered the fight, and like I said at the top of the show, like it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
Everything?
No, I did not watch everything. No.
Okay.
I had a lot of trouble watching the. Why do you say? Let's just talk about one fight. The Ward fight.
The short videos that I saw, Mayweather did look heavier than I've seen him before.
Remember what Mayweather weighed in at?
Ooh. See, man,
I don't know.
Been better prepared.
I don't know exactly what Mayweather weighed in at, but
it was heavier than he's been. He's probably.
like where his reach was, what his power was, how quick he was, everything. And then Floyd just started putting his hands up and going in on him, and it got real interesting. That's
Floyd 155, Paul 189 and a half.
Yeah. I mean, he just didn't. What Mayweather was doing, I mean, he just, to me, it looked like he just didn't want to get hit with anything stupid, any big punches, you know. And Paul was keeping his hands down, which I thought was really stupid. But Mayweather, you know, I don't think he's just so much bigger than him. It's a hard weight difference to make up.
Well, as somebody that didn't watch the fight, I didn't see it, but Mayweather was normal Mayweather, very efficient as far as the way that he boxed. As far as his jabs, 50% compared to 10% for Paul.
Yeah.
On his power punches, 39% compared to 15% for Paul. And then total 40% for Mayweather, 13% for Paul.
Don't forget they had no judges, so it behooved you to try.
Really, really low number in a boxing match.
Yeah, I mean, just because I think he was so safety.
It was bigger than I thought, like just looking at him.
Minute rounds, so it wasn't like he was in there for 2 minutes like Tyson. They were 3-minute rounds, and he went all 8. There was a point in the fight that he did get, I think, knocked out.
Yeah.
Floyd uppercutted him, and he fell on Floyd bad. I mean, just completely. And he turned sideways, and his eyes were closed. Floyd basically had to catch him because he was so big, and he held him from hitting the canvas. And so I think that he could have been knocked down at that point.
Yeah, that's what makes it a little bit suspect. You don't know. What Floyd really trying his hardest? I mean, what do you think?
I think it took him a couple of rounds to figure him out, and then when so what he did was back up. The ref would back him up, and then he'd put it up like this so he couldn't hit him, and then he'd just go right in on him because he didn't want him to be able to haymake him or anything like that.
But Paul had his moments of just throwing wild haymakers, and
Sure.
and Mayweather just let him. It wasn't like he was hurting him.
I thought at
Just kept
first,
his hands up.
I thought at first he was going to rope a dope him, right? I thought he was going to wear Paul out, and then he went in there and got a few shots in. I think that this. I think it was a fight. I don't think it was necessarily too much of an exhibition. They were swinging, and Mayweather got some good shots in.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Mayweather, if he really took it to him, I think Mayweather could have stopped him. It's just so hard for me because it wasn't really. How do you do a fight that's not? There's going to be no judges, so that behooves. Paul because he can just throw anvils and not have to worry about getting any points.
I will say this, and you might get irritated whenever I say
I'm
this.
irritated with you all the time anyway. So.
Well, that's good. I'm gonna up that level.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna up it. So I watched a short video of Logan Paul afterwards in the locker room with all of his entourage, his brother, all the crew, and he was thanking everybody that was involved and got emotional about it. And I'll say this about that. In my opinion, I think watching that, I kind of I felt for the guy a little bit, and I only say that because imagine doing something that I'm sure whether he wanted to do it his whole life or he wanted to do it over the last couple of years. The dude worked at it. The dude got in good shape. He took it. It looks like somewhat serious. Yeah. It looks like something that he really, really wanted to do, and he did it. And I can't, as much as I think it's getting to a point where the YouTube guys are getting a little obnoxious. I at least have to give it to the guy for doing something he wanted to do and getting a chance to do it. He fought against Floyd Mayweather, whether it was an exhibition or not, got in shape, and did it. I mean, the guy did it. Whether it was corny or stupid or whatever,
but he came out.
He did it.
He came out so I guess there's this big thing. All of his followers, whatever. And then I heard it was 23 million followers, or something like that he has, something ridiculous like that.
Come on, he's obviously a follower.
I
love the guy.
I don't love the guy. I don't follow. I can't. I don't know who Jake or look like. I didn't know either one of them apart from before. I'm just saying, like, hey, I don't care what it is. Like, the dude didn't go up there and make it a joke. Right. I mean, he at least, for somebody like you that's a boxing purist, you at least have to give the guy respect for, like, taking it serious. I mean, he took it serious.
If I went 8 rounds with you, I trained for 4 months, and I went 8 rounds with you.
Don't worry about it.
I'll do it.
I would leave the country.
He didn't go 30 seconds with his brother, so I don't think it's gonna.
My brother's in town, actually.
I know it's a shame he didn't come up here.
I was nervous about him coming up here. I was like, man, no, I don't want Lou to get a hold of him.
But anyway, I want to get your response to what I said.
Listen, I mean, it's not really I guess it's a boxing match. It was an exhibition. There was you couldn't win on points, so it behooves the guys just going to throw big punches. But, I don't think Mayweather tried his hardest. I really don't.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you there that I don't think he tried very hard. But I think to Logan Paul, I think he took it serious, and I think it was something that he really wanted to do, and he accomplished it.
He's making huge money, and I agree with you. He did, and he was in shape. I mean, the guy could have came in out of shape. He looked very physically fit. Yeah. He went 8 rounds, 8 3-minute rounds is hard for anybody.
Yeah, that's a tough deal. Today I was in my shed, and I was in my shed doing 2-minute rounds on a bag. Right. And I did 3 of them. And I mean, my heart rate's at 190, 195, and that's only 2-minute rounds. This guy got in shape, fought Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather, I'm going to say, was maybe 80%. That's given 75, 80%. And Paul was given 100. I mean, what percent you're a fighter? What
Paul
percent?
Was going all out. I mean, you saw that one flurry he was trying.
Yeah, at the end of round 1 or 2.
Yeah, where Mayweather just put his hands up. It was at the end of round 1, and he was throwing everything. He was throwing it from his, coming out of his shoes. He was trying to knock Mayweather out. Mayweather just kept his hands up, and he didn't. I don't think.
After that, I don't think there was much of no. He didn't do much after that.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he landed a clean punch really the whole fight. I mean, he landed, hitting Mayweather's glove, but I don't think he hit him on the chin. Mayweather landed some, good shots. The one you were talking about when he went down and Mayweather held him up. That's kind of suspect.
I mean, when you look at this, Paul threw 73 jabs and connected on 7 of them. That's a crazy number. That's a crazy number. But Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I take him seriously in boxing and he's going to be the next great white hope. I'm just saying I got to give the guy credit for the amount of effort he put into it. He had a goal. He reached it. He was in the round. He was in a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather for 8 rounds, whether it was 60%, 50%, whatever it was of Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he did that.
How many fights did he have before this? One?
Just one.
Just one.
So think about that. I mean, your second fight, you're fighting for
I don't know.
huge money. I mean, if that it's not an incentive to get in shape.
I know people wanted to see him get knocked out. I know they did, and I understand that. And look, as many people that wanted to see Paul get knocked out, there's the same amount of people that want to see Floyd Mayweather get knocked out because there's the same hatred for hatred for Floyd. It's like a LeBron hatred too. It goes along the same level of like people that hate Floyd, people that hate LeBron. Like it's that, it's sort of that same deal. But I actually love Floyd Mayweather and what he's done. I love his defensive strategy on boxing and all that. But I mean. For the $60 that I spent on the show, which I call it a show exhibition, it was well worth it. I mean, there's other fights in this event too that were phenomenal. Like if you watch the first 30 minutes of this exhibition and this card, Ocho Cinco fought, and he fought this other guy that is a journeyman UFC boxer, wannabe UFC, whatever. He's not a good fighter by any means. It was 3 rounds, and at the end of the third round, Ocho Cinco got leveled.
Oh, he got knocked out. I mean, I saw the video of it. He got knocked out.
I mean, he got back up, but
he was looking for Carson Palmer after that. That dude got up, was like, looking for his helmet. Yeah, but no, I mean, you're looking at the boxing, the matches that you got. You got Jarrett Hurd against Luis Arias. You watched that one?
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that one?
So the Hurd Arias fight was the fight of the night. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
It went all 10, right?
And it was unbelievable. Arias was hitting him. It was an up-close fight, and they never stopped punching. The entire boxing match, they never stopped punching. And Arias had this overhand right that just kept, landing right on his head. And it was shocking. I couldn't believe that he didn't go down. But this guy's a 2-time world champ in Hurd. And Arias couldn't knock him down. Arias had lost his previous 3 fights and came back and he actually won that fight. And he was so emotional after the fight. In fact, he got down on his knees and it reminded me of you after beating Buster Douglas. Yeah. And the exact same emotion because Hurd had lost his previous 3 fights and beat the world. Not Hurd. Arias had lost his previous 3 fights and beat a world champ in Hurd.
Yeah, Hurd 24-1 going into that, I think, or 24-1, 24-0. I can't remember which, but it's pretty good.
3 losses.
But Arias had coming off 3 straight losses.
Wow.
2 losses, 1 draw.
2 losses, 1 draw. Sorry, and it was a split decision. He won 2-1, and it was phenomenal. The guy put up a hell of a fight, just a hell of a fight, and they boxed. They actually threw. For me, obviously, being on this show and being a boxing,
they were the only real fighters.
Yeah. And there was another real fight. The Ward fight was supposed to be real, but I forgot who his challenger was prior to this guy coming in and boxing, but. The Ward fight was supposed to be, it was the co-main event, but the guy pulled out a couple of weeks prior to the event because of COVID. Yeah. And so they called this guy who had never, ever fought in the United States, and he gets in there, and the first 3 or 4 rounds looks okay. And then he got knocked down 3 times, and it was in 1 round. He got beat bad.
Dude, what do you think that guy got paid to do that? Just a guy that you bring 2 weeks in.
Short notice. I don't have a frame of reference with these fights. It's so much more money on a normal. Ward. That's a big fight. Probably maybe $100,000.
Just coming in after 2 weeks, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Scott Herkett said he'd fight Lou for $50.
Oh God.
Scott.
Oh my God.
I like this guy already. Who's Scott Herkett?
I beat him like a redheaded stepchild. That's all.
Oh wow.
$50 though. That's it.
He's terrible. I took a dump this morning. Weighs more than him.
Oh wow. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
I love that.
I didn't know he started back on the crack again. Jesus Christ.
Thank you for letting us have that vision.
He boxed. He boxed.
Did he?
Yeah, we used to go to the boxing gym together. He was.
Well, tell him to come down for $50, man. We'll even
we'll televise it.
We'll record that fight for sure.
It would not be pretty.
Grant, you got the stats on the Arias fight?
The Arias fight, I can pull them up. I don't have them right now, but I can pull those up for you.
You got to see the numbers on these guys. They for for what it was worth, I would have paid $60 to watch that boxing match alone, and I can't believe there wasn't a knockdown. And they were, I think Arias looked worse after the fight, and not Ward, but Heard. He's notorious for antics. Like at the end, like his last fight, he knocked the guy down with like 10 seconds left to go in the fight. He's notorious for late, like getting hit, like taking punches. And man, after the fight, Heard looked great. Like he didn't look like he was beat up. And even though Arias had this split over his eye that started in like round 3, Heard had a cut right in the middle of his forehead too. It was a bloody match. It was a great boxing match. And if you're in for like good boxing matches, that was the one of the night. It was phenomenal.
So total punches, it was Heard 151 out of 501, so 30%. Arias was 163 out of 478, so 34%.
It's a lot of punches.
That's what I'm saying. They were throwing and it was only 10 rounds, so it wasn't 12. It was 10 rounds, and man, they every round was entertaining.
Doing 50 punches around. That's good stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
and for Heard, he did five. You know, he threw 501. 349 of those were power punches.
Well, I mean, he was trying to knock Arias out, obviously.
Yeah.
And Arias was trying to knock him out, but more or less
They went
wear him
the
down.
distance.
Yeah, and it went all 10 rounds. So if you get a chance, Showtime will probably replay the Floyd Mayweather fight. Watch that one. It's the second fight in. It's the second 2 fights before Mayweather, because obviously you had the Ward fight, which got canceled.
A lot of people, I don't know if you guys heard this, but a lot of people couldn't get the fight. They called in.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that tried to call in. And they said that Showtime, there was some problem where they couldn't, and millions of people couldn't get the fight that wanted to see the fight.
I wonder how that's going to affect.
That's a bad
Because
glitch.
I want to see the end numbers, right? Because at the beginning we said it was Mayweather 100 million
Yeah, I
and
don't
Paul
know.
10 million, and that was and then it went down to 50 and like 10. I wonder what the end numbers were for this fight.
Well, I know for Paul, it was a $250,000 salary to do the fight plus 10% of the
total gate.
of the total gate.
And
So-
this guy is a genius when it comes to marketing. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say earlier. He's in the locker room getting ready to come out, right? And he has a gold, like a diamond chain on, and on it is this Pokemon card in a case. And apparently,
How about that?
that's what I'm saying. Like, so apparently,
You like that?
this Pokemon card is worth
Worth
like
it, yeah, I know.
$2 million or something like that.
Dude, I got one in my car. I got Pokemon.
And so, but imagine how much that card is going to sell for now.
Oh yeah. Well. So let me ask you this: when you think about guys coming in on the ring, okay, with a Pokemon card necklace around their neck,
They get too much street creds with a Pokemon.
what are you thinking there? You think Mike Tyson's gonna come out before a fight with a Pokemon card around his neck?
I don't know. But I mean, listen.
Dude, they had the Migos the Migos walked in between the Paul and Mayweather fight, right? Migos were rapping and they came out. Yeah. And all of them had necklaces on. Every one of them had chains on. And
Pokemon.
I promise you that Pokemon chain was worth more than all of theirs.
Oh, for sure.
Because just the card alone was like $2 million. And there's something to it. Like, I don't know. Like, somebody
You were
told
really
me.
impressed with this Pokemon necklace. Wow.
Well, I mean, a little card worth $2 million. That's insane.
Would you wear a Pokemon necklace around your?
If you're fighting your next fight, what are you wearing?
Not a Pokemon necklace, I'll tell you right now.
I bet if somebody paid you enough, you would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Well,
Absolutely.
Scott Erkin said, okay, $25.
Oh, I can't do it. Oh, my God. Stop.
So, yeah, you can come out and fight Scott.
Bruising. That's an old school term, right
The
there.
best punch he ever took was at a bar in Middletown, New York called Smiles. It was Smiles, but he wasn't smiling.
Okay.
Oh, it was the punch that he took.
Yeah, he took it.
You got to tell the story.
We were at a
This is great.
we were at a Ponderosa, and we met these 2 young ladies, and they told us to meet us at this club.
Yeah.
And went to this club that night, and we were the only 2 kind of Caucasian people in this club, and these 2 young ladies were there, and we were talking to them, and they were smitten with us, and I was going to the bathroom, and I saw some guy come up and just level him. Hit Scott. He didn't go down. I give him that, and then we had a brawl. It was crazy.
What? Just punch him because he wanted to punch him? You don't.
Yeah, because
You ever been knocked out in a street fight?
No, I never.
I can't see you being knocked down the street. It'd be
but
hard
it
to
was
knock
crazy.
you out.
Right.
Yeah, it was a big. We had a lot.
How many times you been knocked down in the ring?
I mean, I've been knocked down.
No, out. Like where
I
you
was never out. I mean, I've been knocked down, but
knocked down.
I never been counted to 10. So.
That's what our question was. I think we had that on here before. We asked you if you'd ever been
Yeah.
knocked out.
Yeah.
No, I've been knocked down. Yeah, but and they stopped the fight when I fought Eyes on. They stopped the fight, but I got up. So
Man, tough jaw. Well, I guess not like me, right?
No, yeah, you were up pretty quick.
But that was
Pretty
that
quick.
fight was not sanctioned. That's kind of
No, it wasn't. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine like you go to a bar with Lou, right? And then like you're there to meet some ladies, and then somebody knocks you out or like catches you, and then here comes Lou. You're like he's like a white cape on with his underwear.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, I guarantee you.
Captain Save Him.
I guarantee you. I'm
it wasn't that pretty.
Did you hear that?
That was the funniest thing Jeff's ever said.
What do you say?
He said he called you Captain Save-A-Ho.
That's nice.
That for real. That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
Man,
in
he got
over
his
a
white
year of
cape
us
on.
doing this is the funniest thing you've ever said.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, that was good.
Go to
I
Lee-
almost
go-
kind of wanted to stop and just let that kind of sink in.
Marinate for a second.
But I couldn't do it. I
Go to
ruined
Lou's
it.
Instagram. You
I
will see
ruined
him
it.
in a
Save a
cape,
hoe.
in a white cape with some white tidy whities. It was Calvin Klein.
Dolce Gabbana.
Dolce
Dolce
Gabbana.
Gabbana. Was the cape Dolce Gabbana? Does Dolce Gabbana make a
I
cape?
don't remember. I don't remember.
Just follow Lou's Instagram. It's funny
Yeah.
anyways. He's got a gerbil that he puts everywhere.
Not a
It's
gerbil,
funny
a
as
guinea
hell.
pig.
Whatever.
Yeah, why do you keep doing that?
I don't know. I don't know
It's
the
a guinea
difference.
pig.
What's the difference between a gerbil and a guinea pig?
I don't know. Let's
Guinea pig's
ask.
much bigger. They're I don't know. They're nicer. I think they're very nice.
They're nicer?
He's so sweet. Sigmund is the nicest, best pet.
Does he run in the wheel?
He does. Yeah, he does. He runs.
I've seen him. He looks out of shape.
No, dude, he's ripped. Are you kidding me? He's a guinea pig. They're not supposed to be.
Not ripped.
They're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be very fit guinea pigs.
But no, to what you were saying earlier,
Hence the pig.
could you imagine how confident you are going into a club with Lou Savarese?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like-
you're just like, yeah, I'm not getting hit. Like,
I'm just
that doesn't work
like,
out
hey,
very well.
let me in this place.
I'm not promoting that because people nowadays people get shot.
Oh yeah, dude. No, you're right about that. People out there losing their freaking mind, man.
well,
down here in
we're
Houston.
we're not thinking about gun violence.
Yeah, I'm
just
not
in
even thinking about that.
general.
I'm just thinking about, just like you walk in with, you got Lou, you walk in with a little bit more confidence. You know what
I've been to lunch with Lou a few times, and like,
Oh, I've been once.
there's
So, congratulations to you.
there's a table, like he doesn't fit at the tables, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he has
Oh
to sit at
my
the
God,
end.
that's not-
Yeah, big dude.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Remember?
Well,
Remember
this is Lights Out with Lou. We're going to talk about Lou.
You remember when we went to the first
Yeah, the
first place
cafeteria.
the cafeteria? We thought cafeteria.
Yeah.
Shit, no. This thing was expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
we get to the end of the line,
No,
and me and
it's
Grant are like, we just got to play like Louis. You get your Lou amp platter and everything. It's
Yes.
like what, $13 total?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
$57
No, that's because
for
you're
both of
getting big,
us.
good food, man. Good quality. Oh my goodness.
Well, no, I tell you what was
You leave
funny.
that place, man. You're stuffed.
What was-
I've never left there without a doggy bag.
What was funny was when we walked in there, nobody gave us the time of day. Like he and I walked in there alone.
Yeah.
We walked through the thing. Everybody's like, "Yeah, here's your everybody was nice, but everybody's like, here's your food, whatever." We sat down at a table. Boy, you show up and sit down at our table. All of a sudden, we got waiters and
Oh, man,
waitresses.
they wanted to
and
bring all the
everybody
coffee.
came over.
Remember they want to bring
Oh,
desserts?
coffee, desserts,
Lemon pie.
Do you need anything? What else do y'all need?
That's one of Clara's favorites. They have those pies at the end. She loves.
That lemon pie was fantastic.
Was good. We all took home, like you said, we all had
Oh, I
bags.
had
and
a
we
doggy
walked
bag,
out
no
of there.
It
doubt.
comes with a bypass, man.
It was fantastic.
What
A
was
bypass? Is that what you said?
Not Tree Bird. What was the name of it?
Clayburn.
Clayburns. Yeah,
Clayburns.
man. Clayburns here in Houston over.
They were calling us kid. The average age is like 65 to 70.
Yeah, it is.
They close at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like,
At 6 o'clock. That's when the
It's
dinner
true.
rush is over.
The
dinner's at 3:30.
Yeah.
The owner's one of the nicest guys.
Oh yeah, he was super nice. He came over and talked to us. Yeah.
He's the son of the original owner. They've been there. It's like a Houston fixture, that place.
Oh yeah,
Greek,
been around
right?
for a long time.
Yeah, it's Greek.
Yeah, Greek guys.
House, yeah.
Amazing food though. Not gonna lie, it was phenomenal.
No, it was great. It was great.
Poor
on the
guy.
price
He only
end.
sells lentils on Friday, so I always bring a new client at least once a week, and I'll come in like a Thursday. He goes, "Oh, how's this?" And I say, "That's my friend Grant. He's here for the lentils." Lou, I told you the lentils are on Friday. Every time.
That's fantastic.
It was fun though. It was fun.
That was good, man. I like that.
for
But
the
getting
lift
back
and
to
for the hips.
a little bit of boxing, there's
yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah, get a little fight in. And hey, look, if the money's right, I'll go 8 rounds with you for 3 minutes. But you got to give me 4 months to train.
What I like is he's saying he is going to go 8 rounds. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll go 8 rounds." Like you have a choice.
Schedule it.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
I literally would leave the country. I'm saying I'd never come back to this beautiful
I
America.
don't want to do that. We have a show.
I would leave the country.
Jeez.
Even 8 rounds with me. Forget that.
Man, well, I was
Lou would
thinking,
go.
I was thinking
And
about
you'd be
this the
out.
other day. If these YouTube guys can do it, why don't we set up fights like that? Why don't we have other people doing other things?
That's what's going on now. Yeah, everybody's
like
fighting
if Grant, if you can throw an 80-something mile an hour fastball still, like, you know, see if you can get Ken Griffey Jr. up there and then, you know, throw 10 balls and see if you can strike him out or
I
whatever.
would be honored for that dude to
Remember-
take me over
That's
the
what I'm saying.
over the fence. Be like,
But
wow.
people are doing crazy
I'd
shit.
be watching it
There
while
was
he
a
does
lady,
it.
the queen in her court. You remember that? She was the
Who?
queen in her court. There was a lady who was called the queen in her court, and she would strike out all the MLB players pitching underhand from second base, and she would strike them all out. True story.
Wow.
And I saw.
I don't know about that.
Who was the toy rocket from the Astros?
The toy rocket?
Roger Clemens?
No, he was the outfielder. Anybody?
Toy rocket?
They called him the toy rocket.
Well, this is the Astros guy right here. He's supposed to
I don't
know.
remember. a toy
great
rocket.
job. The rocket. Oh man, what was his name?
Yeah, he's
Cray
some
was,
fan.
not Helmut Cray. He was a right fielder.
What year?
He had a rocket. Probably in the 70s.
Oh, man, I was born in
I
77.
saw him at a golf tournament. I said, man, that lady struck you out. He went crazy. She was.
Hey, speaking of striking out, Justin Wright just said he remembered being at Emerald Point in Greenwood Lake when a fight broke out, and
Oh, boy.
Lou happened to be there, and he said, "Oh man, please don't hit Lou." Is that because you didn't want somebody to hit Lou, or you just didn't want Lou to get pissed off?
Wow, back in Emerald Point. Oh my God, that was fun. That's a great spot on the lake.
If you just had to guess how many brawls you've been in out of the boxing ring, like what would be your guess?
And,
Like you just had to get, like you just had to put a number
I'm not
to it.
proud of it. It's stupid.
No, I'm not saying you're proud of it, but I'm just saying if you had to guess, like how many brawls you've got
50.
into.
Yeah, probably 50.
50 you think's a good number?
Yeah.
But we going? He's like, yeah, stay there.
And what is the brawl?
yeah,
What's
go
the
stay
brawl?
there.
I don't know. I mean, you know, when people are
Well,
getting
you're
physical.
throwing a punch.
Yeah, people are getting physical.
Probably 100 if it's just me throwing a punch.
You ever just grab somebody without throwing a punch and just been like, no, like it's just.
I used to bounce at a place.
Oh yeah, I bet you a great bounce.
All right, back to a little bit of boxing before we make a phone call to who we calling?
Patty.
We're calling Patty. I hope Patty's ready for this. It'll be awesome. Lopez and Cambosos is coming up June 19th. Do you have any thoughts on this? And this is an actual fight, and it should be good.
Can we talk about one fight before that? Because this is really in you brought it up to me. I can't believe this. I mean, this is just crazy. They're gonna have. This is when you realize they're just looking to do spectacles.
Holyfield.
They're gonna have Chavez's kid
Yeah, yeah.
and Camacho's kid. I mean,
Yeah.
they both were. Their dads were great fighters. They were not decent fighters at all. I mean, now they're gonna fight each other.
Yeah.
And what's it gonna be called?
It's something about Remember the Titans. Or,
I mean, this is just crazy. It's like there's two kids over there. I don't know. I mean, Chavez's dad was one of the greatest fighters ever.
Heck.
So was Camacho, one of the best
Yep.
defensive fighters. But both their kids were terrible. I mean, they weren't great fighters by any means.
But I think it's right now. I mean, I think people are just seeing the money that's out there, so they're just like, I'm gonna get a piece of it.
It's bringing back to boxing, and on this, look, I say on this Lopez Cambosos
I'm sorry
card
about
because that's the way it should be. It should be the Lopez Cambosos.
Yeah, that's a real fight.
But guess what? It's not that card. The card is the Holyfield Kevin McBride fight.
My goodness, Patty sees McBride down in Florida. They're going to be they train down there. They all train Holyfield. There's some guy that brings them down. They all train at the same gym. You saw Briggs was down there last week training. He was talking bad about Holyfield.
So you got Teofimo Lopez, of course, according to the Ring, at least in the rankings, pound for pound, they have him 7th pound for pound. Coming up, like you say, fighting Cambosos. He's 16-0. Teofimo Lopez is at this point 16-0, 12 knockouts.
Yeah.
Fighting pretty good. I mean, his last fight was against Lomachenko, won that unanimous decision. So
that was a big win, huge win for him, his biggest by far. And now he's got this fight. This is going to be what's the other guy's record?
19-0.
Yeah, well, it's going to be tough.
I mean, both of them coming in. So you've got Cambosos, who's fought Lee Selby, won, Mickey Bay, Richard Pena, Ray Perez, and then, of course, on Lopez side, the Lomachenko fight, Richard Comey, Nakatani, he's fought recently.
This would be a huge feather in his cap. He wins this fight. That's going to, legitimize him. I think he's legitimized already, but a lot of people were suspect about his dad, but it seems like things are working out now. So, because it was weird. Remember, his dad's in his corner, and a lot of people don't like that. Usually, never works for him.
Kind of has that LeVar Ball kind of. You know about the Ball kids, LeVar Ball and the NBA
basketball players.
Yeah. Kind of like that same kind of energy, but yeah, I mean, hey, look, we say it all the time when we talk about this. So you got that fight that it's a part of, but that's still a really good fight. And do you think a fight like that would be as big of a deal if it wasn't on that kind of card? For boxing guys, it would be absolutely, but for just whoever it is that's watching.
Once again, I hate beating this thing to death, but obviously,
we beat it to
so
death.
many people are watching it that wouldn't be watching a boxing match. I mean, that's what it is. You have so many, you millennials, YouTubers, whatever you guys are.
No, remember, we're
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah,
We're in the same generation. We figured this out last time.
Man, I wish I could change my generation.
I mean, you're right on the outskirts of it. So, but also too, you have that fight coming up. You've got the Lopez fight. You also have Naomi. I can't ever pronounce the guy's name. Naomi Inoue, the Japanese fighter.
Yeah.
They got him. They have him right now. The ring has him second ranked pound for pound in the world. That dude 20-0.
Who's he fighting?
He is going to be fighting. Where's he at? Michael Desmarinas. Michael Desmarinas, yeah.
What's his record?
Yeah, who's that guy?
Michael Desmarinas, 30-2 is his record from the Philippines.
He looks tough.
Yeah. Why do you say he looks tough?
Just look at his face.
Yeah, he looks like a tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
30-2 is not a bad record, though. I mean, I'd like to see all of his fights and if there's any noteworthy ones. But
hey, last time the dude lost was 2014. So I mean, he's been fighting too. Went to a draw with Manuel Plange. I guess these are guys in their native land in Singapore, or he's Philippine. So
Yeah.
but hey, you got him fighting.
Where's the
too.
fight going to be?
I didn't see that. I'll tell you what it is. Hang on, I'll get there.
I know you tried to we tried to get you in touch with Tyson, and you've
Vegas.
been on the record talking about Holyfield, and we've already had a little Twitter beef with what's his name that you want to fight.
Shannon Briggs?
Yeah, Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, Briggs is now, as of yesterday, he was fighting Tyson in Brooklyn. Then Klitschko said he would fight him, and they've been talking about fighting for a while.
Why? I mean, I'm not sure why you're getting overlooked like this. I mean, it's been noted, and I'll try to put it out there again, but you have got to be able to beat the living shit out of Kevin McBride.
Yeah, I could beat Kevin.
And
McBride.
Kevin McBride is fighting Holyfield.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, Kevin, I knew him well. I mean, he's a tough kid. He's from Boston. But he shouldn't be fighting anymore. I mean, I think. Well, we'll see. I mean, he's a tough kid. I mean, Holyfield's gonna light him up.
Yeah, for sure. I think this
I
is.
hope he makes some good money too.
Well, unfortunately, us being in me being in the business, you being an ex-fighter, we'll watch the fight. But I don't think that Holyfield is near as much of a draw as Mike Tyson.
I don't know about that. Both of them. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Tyson's the biggest draw, I would say.
I mean, I don't see a lot of people ordering.
Ali was the biggest, but I think Tyson was probably second.
I don't see a lot of people ordering the Holyfield McBride fight.
No.
I really don't. Like, I just don't think that's very interesting, like, at all. Like,
just for a boxing fan.
Well, Tyson's done a really good job of keeping himself out there in the public recently.
Yeah, that documentary that had him. I mean, everybody. I got calls from so many people.
Oh, it's
that don't even watch. Yeah, don't even watch.
It's a good
boxing.
documentary. It really is.
It really showed.
It really
a
is.
different side of him.
Hey, let's get to the segment where we call one of your buddies, because we got a lot on our minds right now we're talking about, and make sure you hold the phone up to the speaker. Who we calling again?
Patty.
We're going to call Patty right now live. This
One
is
of 11 or 12 Irish kids.
Oh,
Wow.
And this is one of Lou's buddies in New York who is not expecting our phone call, and we're going to see how this goes. This should be pretty funny. I hope
Hold on.
What?
Lou tried to talk to Siri.
Siri didn't know what you were talking about?
Siri
I said
didn't
call
know.
Patty, and she called Pam.
That segment, Lou and Siri is going to be Lou's dating Siri. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Lou's dating Siri.
Yeah. Siri's gonna say what?
All right, here we go. Patty from where's Patty from?
Queensbridge.
Patty from Queens. We're going to try to get on the phone right now.
Robert Grimley. They're the only white family in the Queensbridge projects.
When in doubt, knock him out.
What's up? What are you doing, man? What's up?
What are you doing?
Nah, nothing. Just hanging out. Nah, I'm on my podcast, dude. You're on.
Good.
Yeah. Can you hear
I
me?
was watching it.
You were watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, how'd we look?
Good.
I look good?
Yeah.
Oh, good. How about the other guys?
Yeah, they look the same. There's nothing going on in the background.
You in Florida?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see McBride. You got to go. McBride and Holyfield are fighting.
Yeah, I seen Big Time McCline over there.
Oh, did you? Jamil, where'd you see him, at the gym?
Yeah.
Have you seen Briggs?
No, I haven't seen him.
Well, hey, how many kids are in your family?
I
16.
got 5 brothers and 3 sisters.
I think there was more. Oh, so you got 9 total.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not that
How many fights has he been in with you?
Oh, Patty?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a couple. Oh, man.
How many fights he been in?
He had more than me. He had the most. He used to.
Does Ballroom Bros count?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So.
I got a fight with Patty a couple times.
What? What? Who won? Well, I mean,
No, he had some. How would you say? When he drank, he would steal things, cars, police cars. Didn't you take
That
these?
was my brother.
Oh no, he stole a lumber truck.
oh, we heard
I've
about.
been on the block a few times.
That's back in the old days. Now he's sober. And,
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
You tried to tell this lumber truck story where he stole a lumber truck and the cops were chasing him down. That's incredible.
hey, it happens, man. What do you know?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna
They
do?
needed a new porch.
I've been clean 13 months now.
Oh, nice.
Good for you,
That's the
kid.
longest I've ever been. Yeah, clean.
Awesome, buddy.
So
Awesome.
It's a new life for me now. It's a new life.
That's
Well,
awesome.
congratulations on that.
Good
Thank
job,
you,
kid.
brother.
And this guy, he runs he's like Forrest Gump. Got that run all the time. You still running?
25 miles a day.
He just here.
How many miles a day? What
Dude,
did
you'd
you say?
see him like literally. You'd be driving like 20 miles from where we lived. He'd be out there running. It's just crazy.
How many miles did he say he runs a day?
How
We're
many?
running up the Stone Forest Mountain.
Yeah, how many miles? I used to run like 20. Yeah, he's crazy.
I used to like 25 miles a day. I used
He's
to
not
run.
kidding, he's not
Damn.
kidding. He'd be out all over.
Dude.
But
I hate driving 25 miles.
I don't think I've ran 25 miles in 20 years.
he was
yeah.
he was always at my camps too. We great.
I used to get that runner's high, you know.
Yeah.
I hear
Hey,
that.
Patty Justin Wright wants us to tell you hello.
You know Justin Wright?
No.
There you go.
He says, Patty, my main man, tell him Justin Wright says hello.
Okay, I don't know who he
From the
is,
lake.
From the lake.
Yeah.
Well, man, we got to get one good Lou Savarese story out from Patty before
Making Lou nervous.
Yeah, I think Lou got a lump in his throat.
What's the statute of limitations?
Carry on. Remember that? Carry on.
What?
Carry on when you knock that guy out.
Who is that?
And carry on.
Yeah, when we got into that little bump in the car, that we're going over the mountain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you knocked the guy out. He says, all right, carry on, guys. He was all wobbly. He was all wobbling all over the street. He
Yeah, I
didn't know where he
remember
was.
Yeah, by Merchios. I remember that. Yeah.
I won't mention his name, though.
Not good. Thank you.
That's one of the 50 apparently.
Yeah.
It was where we grew up. It was weird because half of the we lived on a lake and half of it was in New York and half was in New Jersey. So I used to have fights because all the kids from Jersey would come over. It was younger to drink over there, and there was a lot of fights. And I would bounce at this place, and Patty was one getting in fights, and I'd have to help him. And
Have to help him out.
yeah, we have another buddy down there. A lot of fights.
I remember all the Jersey guys were coming after you at one time, and it looked like a tornado. You knocking them all out.
That's when I went.
Street Fighter Lou.
I know that.
And he's at,
I can't imagine.
Lou, I saw you. Did you find yourself in a boxing game?
Yeah, I did.
You did
No,
finally?
I didn't do that. Some guy from Turkey sent it to me. It was a video game, and he sent it to me.
Man, remember I told you I need to find you in a video game. I wanted
Yeah,
to
I'm
do
in
that.
there. Yeah,
Damn,
I didn't
that's
look
cool.
too good though. My hair didn't look good. It looked more like your hair. It gave me kind of weird.
What,
And I was
what are
real
you saying? I don't look good?
No, it's just different. It doesn't look good on me. It looks good on you.
Oh,
That
thank
would not
you.
look good
All
on
right.
me.
Johnny
All right.
Bravo look.
It's probably. All right, Patty. Thank you, buddy. What are you doing tonight?
Good to hear from you.
What are you doing
I'm
tonight?
ready to get rolling, brother. Let's do this.
What are you doing tonight?
Not much. Just hanging out with my girl here.
Oh, wow, you got a girl. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Change teams. Good for you, buddy. Now you switch hitter.
Switch
He's
hitter.
fluid, gender fluid. All right, man. I love you, buddy.
All right, love you.
Hey, good talking to you, Patty.
All right, Patty.
Wow.
All right, now-
If all your friends in New York are like this,
No,
man,
no.
growing up
He's
with you,
tough, dude. He's tough.
growing
man.
up with you must have been like a day to day, like you don't know.
No,
what
he
is gonna happen.
was funny. Oh my god, he was funny. He was the best. They could like. One day he stole a watermelon, and I said I felt like watermelon. He went and stole a watermelon, And so, what are we going to cut it? We went back and stole a knife. Oh my God! From this place. It's like Randall's. It's called the Grand Union.
I mean, if that dude took a lumber truck right now, that thing would be worth millions.
Oh yeah.
That thing would be worth millions.
We were young and crazy.
Let's get into some history before we talk some future boxing coming up. So you got some history for us?
I do. Zach,
and I know you had a special one too. You wanted to ask Lou coming up.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'll ask that when we get down to the end. But also too, we got a familiar one for you, Lou. Not necessarily one that you were in, but a person that we've talked about quite a bit. Zach, you got those pictures up ready to go?
Yes, I do.
All right, he does.
Thank you, Zach.
All righty. So June 6th.
Let's get ready to rumble.
So
I can't say that.
No, you can't.
$1 million.
No, you can't.
I stopped short.
Yeah, they'd give you $10
That
to not.
Seinfeld episode
They'd
where
give
you
you
stop
20
short.
bucks. They give you $20 not to do it.
Really?
Yeah, here, don't do that.
All right.
Yeah. So June 6th through the 12th is the week that we go over here. So not a lot of boxing this week in history, but there's some good ones though. June 9th, 1899.
Damn.
American boxer James Jeffries KOs defending champion Bob Fitzsimmons of England in the 11th round in Brooklyn, New York to win the lineal world heavyweight title. I've seen that. What's the lineal?
It means you beat the man who beat the man. So you would keep going, so the lineal champion, in other words, the first champion, and you beat that guy. So
Okay.
you beat the man who beat the man, and they start from the beginning and goes all the way up. So
Got it. I learned something today.
thanks.
That's why I like to be here.
Yep.
June 9th, 1946, Joe Louis KOs Billy Conn in
Yeah.
8 for heavyweight boxing title. We're always talking about
Yeah,
Joe Louis.
Khan was tough. Khan was a light heavyweight. He wasn't Joe Louis was a true heavyweight.
How many fights did Joe Louis have?
I'd say 60 something.
I mean, that's easy to look up.
Because like Grant said, it's either every show.
And he fought way a little bit too far. When Marciano knocked him out, Marciano went over, picked him up. He felt really bad
because he was too old. Yeah.
Yeah, Louis was past his prime.
But it's interesting to Grant's point. Like every week we have the show and Grant does a history. It's either every week or every other week that he's on there every time.
And people say probably if not the best heavyweight champion, one of the top. He fought so many amazing guys.
69 fights.
I was close.
66-3.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't know he was that much. Wow.
And some bruiser fights.
He fought everybody.
Yeah,
he only lost 3 fights?
Only lost 3 fights, like you
Damn.
said.
Man, that's crazy.
Rocky Marciano is one. Ezra Charles is one, and Max Schmeling is another.
Yeah, and then he came back and beat Schmeling. That's when the whole world was, it was with that's when Schmeling, the Nazis, it was a big deal, and he came back and beat him. That's unbelievable.
So here's the thing. He loses to Max in 12,
Yep.
and he beats Max in the first round.
Yeah,
man.
but that was, Hitler, there was a lot of, you talk about pressure, a whole country was going against you.
Yeah, that was like the height of that was 1938.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was like right in that height of that Nazi.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. You had to fight him. And
wow, what a crazy era, and especially
they come back and win after beating him and then knock him out. That was just amazing. I remember there was one of the greatest tapes I've ever. I'm talking old school tapes, but it was the greatest rematches in boxing. That was one of them.
Yeah, so he fought him both times in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
I know. I know. June 9th, 1978, great year. Larry Holmes beats Ken Norton in 15 for the heavyweight boxing title.
That was a fight, man. That's how he won the title, was with Norton. Norton was a little bit past his prime there, but that was went 15 rounds.
Well,
Norton was a big banger,
Well, and the thing about Ken Norton too, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, his son ended up being a linebacker on those Super Bowl winning Cowboys team, Ken Norton Jr.
And Norton was, his physique was crazy. He was one of the...
Oh, he was ripped.
I would think he'd probably be the first guy. He was one of the guys that lifted weights, and back then that wasn't real prevalent, but he was a former Marine.
You always use the word Adonis, and that's sort of... because there was a picture that just came out the other day of him walking out of a ring, and it was a quote that he said something, and he was walking out, and man, he was just, like a physical specimen.
Yeah, he was in a movie, The Great Mandingo.
I have heard of this movie.
Yeah, he was, and I think his love interest might have been Morgan Fairchild in that movie. Whatever.
Okay.
Oof.
I like
HBO just came out. I was sneaking out and trying to watch it.
So this is the one I was going to talk to you that thought I'd get some feedback from you. June 11th, 1982, Larry Holmes TKO's Jerry Cooney in 13 for the heavyweight boxing title.
Oh, that was a crazy fight in the sense that Holmes never really forgave Cooney for that. They're good friends. I shouldn't say that, but Cooney made more money than Holmes did on that fight, Holmes was the champion because Cooney was a white guy and he was, there wasn't anybody out there like that, So that was a huge fight. Now, if Cooney would have won that fight, forget about it. The word in the street was that the judges were going to go for all Cooney had to do was finish that fight, But what's his name for such a smart fight, Larry Holmes? Cooney had the best left hook, maybe in boxing, and Holmes just stayed away from his left hand the whole time, just kept circling him to the right hand, and Cooney didn't have a great right hand.
Nicknamed the Great White Hope by Don King, George Cooney. Not George. I always say George.
I know, dude. You
George,
do that
hey,
right.
every time,
know,
man.
That's George Cooney.
I know.
That's beautiful.
But everybody that we've talked to, and we've had him on the other show, and we're gonna have him on here again. But everybody says the same thing: that left hook, they say how powerful you.
Did you see when he hit Norton that time? That was scary. They stopped the fight too late.
Is that the one where he came up off the ground?
No, Norton was knocked out cold, and he still kept hitting him because the rope was holding him up. It was scary.
Ooh, knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah, first round.
Didn't even go a minute.
That put him on the map. That was a big fight.
And then Ken Norton was the one before Larry Holmes.
Yeah,
Ken Norton fight was the one before.
Yeah,
Larry
Norton and Foreman had a war, but Foreman knocked him out, but it was a war up until then. And then Norton and Lyle. I think Norton and Lyle had like 6 knockdowns or something crazy.
Yeah.
It was a war.
June 12th, 1930, we were just talking about him earlier. German boxer Max Schmeling beats Jack Sharkey by disqualification in 4 rounds in NYC for vacant NBA, NYCA, SAC, the ring, and lineal heavyweight titles. That's
a mouthful.
I know. First time title was won on a foul.
Well, interesting.
Yeah. So Max Schmeling.
Low blow or something else.
June 12th, 1981, Larry Holmes TKO's Leon Spinks in 3 for WBC heavyweight boxing title.
And Spinks had won. Remember, Leon Spinks had won the title. I think he beat. Well, it wasn't Holmes, but he came out and did he beat Holmes? He had won
Spinks?
Leon Spinks. Yeah, he came at the Olympics. He was like. Do you remember how many? I can't remember when he won the title.
He's sitting over there.
Yeah.
Ask him.
What did Leon when he beat? Who did he beat? Did he beat Ali? Right?
He beat Ali.
Yeah, he beat Ali. Yeah, it was a huge upset. Then Ali beat him. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they said I was talking to a doorman in Atlantic City in the old timer, and he said that Leon Spinks pulled up in like this car. Literally, smoke was coming out of it. It was so bad. And he said then he wound up winning the fight.
Yeah.
Boxers go through such a range. Like, you can be dead broke one day. So you get one phone call. 4 months later, you've got a bag full of cash and a new car and house.
Yep.
It happens. Yeah.
That's just wild.
As far as history, that's your history. Then we got birthdays coming this week. June 7th, the birthday of Bert Sugar.
Yeah, Bert Sugar. Oh my God, he's a character. Is he still alive?
No, he passed away in 2012.
Yeah, he wrote books, and he was always smoking a cigar and having a drink.
Yeah, no. When I heard that name when I saw the picture of him, I knew exactly who that was.
How old was he?
When he died, 2012 is when he passed away. So born in 1937.
Yeah, he was a character.
Do the math.
Yeah, do the math on that. So I would probably say
63 plus
75.
12, 75.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, that's old than that.
1976, June 7th, David Diaz, American light welterweight boxer, was in the Olympic team in 1996. Born in Chicago, Illinois. June 11th. This one's for you there, Lou. June 11th is the birthday of Buster Mathis.
Oh wow! Nice
World
guy.
Super Heavyweight title 1972. Born in Sledge, Mississippi.
That was but that was his dad. That was Buster Mathis' dad.
Okay, all right, I got you. All
I
right.
fought Buster Mathis Jr., but Buster Mathis Sr. was a really, really tough guy, and so was his son. He was just.
Which one was the dude that was like large?
That was his dad.
Okay.
And when I fought him, he was heavy. Mathis was heavy. He wasn't a big puncher. He threw a lot of punches. He was a tough kid. A nice guy too, a really smart guy.
Yeah, I saw a picture of Buster Mathers. That's a large man.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
June 12th is the birthday of David Defiagbon, I guess is how you pronounce that, Nigerian-Canadian boxer. Olympic silver medal in 1996, born in Nigeria. I did want to bring up a wedding, June 9th, 2009, was the wedding of Mike Tyson and Lakia Spicer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was Lakia Spicer. And from what I can tell, they're still married.
Does Tyson have kids?
Yes.
Yes, I think he does.
Yes, he does. And you bring that up, Mike Tyson, actually, one of his daughters, young at the time, had passed away like 13 days before this wedding. Yeah.
Man, it's just you don't hear a whole lot about
Mike
Tyson's kids, and with
That's
him
true.
being in so much limelight and all the the stuff that he gets in, you don't hear anything.
How many kids does he have? Do you guys know?
I can find out.
I didn't even know if he had them.
Yeah,
so I don't know how many.
I know he's got kids. Yeah, and then three deaths this week, pretty significant ones. June 10th was the death of Jack Johnson, American boxer, first African American world heavyweight champion, died in a car accident. Age 1968, June 10th. In North Carolina. I thought it was going to be something, the accident
From
was down
Galveston.
here.
From
But the car accident was in North Carolina.
Yeah, you talked about this statue. You've gone down there and have pictures of it, and he's
Cool.
he's immortalized down in Galveston. Like he's got a statue and everything down there. If you get a chance to go down to Galveston, go see the Jack Johnson statue and the tribute to him. It's phenomenal.
June 11th was the death of Teofilo Stevenson, Cuban heavyweight boxer, died from a heart attack, age 60 in 2012.
Probably the best amateur ever, or top,
Really?
top five.
Wow.
Yeah, people say the best amateur. Guys used to be petrified to fight him. He was the one. Remember we talked about he was going to fight Ali, and it never came to fruition because Castro wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. Did he ever have a professional record? Did he ever fight professionally?
No, I don't believe he did. He didn't fight.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, he was a beast. Oh my God.
And then,
What a right hand.
and then June 12th, 1967, the death of Bombardier Billy Wells, English heavyweight boxer, Lionsdale belt, died at the age of 79. So, Bombardier Billy Wells, never heard that name before, but yeah, that was your
Thank you.
that was your history.
Everybody loves the history.
You're damn right.
But it is good. Not a lot of people know. Like if you're going to watch and listen to a boxing show, it's good to know some history about it. Jack Johnson, Joe Johnson. We talk about all these fighters, and Lou is just in a wealth of knowledge about it. Like every time we mention a name, he's got a story about it somewhere.
I've learned in the time that we've been doing this show, I've learned a ton about boxing, boxing history, boxers, like a ton. I mean, so much more than I knew before, and it's been great.
Well,
I've enjoyed it. One thing I think you were wanting me to ask him, if I gave you the name, because I always like to look up. I always learn something when I look up Lou Savarese, just different things. Does the name Rico Volpe, does that mean anything to you? Does that?
Wait a second. Yeah, I think I got that. Rico Volpe. That was I would portray him. He was a killer, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what you did, right?
Knock Knock.
In a movie, Knock Knock. You were the villain.
Classical. I know.
Wait, is it out?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's out.
What's it called?
Knock Knock.
Okay, that's what I'm watching tonight.
It's pretty bad.
No,
it's really good.
and your name is what?
Rico
Volpe.
Volpe.
No.
Are you always an Italian dude?
I was on the football team, and they.
So here's my question. I was looking at the trailer earlier.
Here it
Is that you
That's me right there.
with the mask on?
Yeah, that's my real hair.
Okay. Yeah, he's the dude that's slashing people up.
Oh, dude, we're
took
watching
him
this tonight. Not
took him like
hey,
2 hours
put it on the
to do my
TVs to this week. Like, go get it or put it on the TVs. Like, and that's who we can be for Halloween. Rico Volpe.
Rico Volpe.
Hey, and then I went to they had this thing where all these celebrities came, and I was like, they had A, B, and then they had me. I was in like the janitor's closet at this hotel. And anyway, somebody said, I was wearing leather pants, by the way, but somebody said, hey, what's Pee Wee Herman's real name?
Oh, Paul Rubens, I think.
Yeah, so some lady came out. She said, Mr. Savarese, I'm Paul Rubens' assistant, and he'd really like to meet you. And I was like, who? And I don't know what. And the girl next to me goes, oh my God, it's Pee Wee Herman. I said, oh yeah, bring him down. I love him. So anyway, Pee Wee came down, and he goes, yeah, I really like your pants. And I was like, wait a second, dude. So anyway,
The leather pants.
He sent me a Christmas card. It was crazy.
Really? You got a Pee Wee Herman Christmas card?
I did.
Now
I did.
That's why it took 58 minutes to get to this exact point.
But in my
You got a Christmas card from Pee Wee Herman.
My wife, I can see what didn't think it was funny because he sent me a Christmas card. He said, "Hey," it started out, "Hey, hot guy."
What?
Hey, hot guy?
Yeah, he said, "Hey, hot guy."
Oh
Nice.
man, this is going on Twitter.
That's fantastic.
Oh, stop it.
See, is that you? Is that you right there? That's you throwing a punch like you're punching somebody?
My mask. That's my hand.
Knock. So those of y'all that don't know, and Lou will get his 4
Wait,
cent.
I had a
He'll get his
speaking part,
4 cent
too.
check this month from Knock.
You want to hear my
from
speaking
Universal
part?
Oh
Studios.
yeah, no, you had a speaking part. What was it?
did.
What was your line?
It's me. That was it.
You had to scream it like that?
Yeah, there was.
That's it.
That is fantastic. That was all your line. That was just that.
I drove the producer's name was Joe Areola, and I drove him nuts because I kept trying to get lines. He's like, "You know, just do your part." And I kept trying to get lines.
Knock knock. Check it out. I looked it up. There's a lot of knock knocks, but this one was
That's the knock.
This was made in 2008.
Dude, we're gonna have to redo this movie.
Here's the premise. In Glass County, several teenagers from high school are slaughtered and their severed bodies are found in the working place of their fathers. And I'm guessing
Wow.
you're the one that did the
Yeah,
slaughtering.
because what they didn't tell you, they put me in a casket. And my dad owned a crematory, whatever you call it, a funeral parlor. So they threw me in a casket and they spun me around, and the thing went on fire, but they didn't know I lived. And I came back and killed
Like
everyone.
Jason.
Something like that, yeah.
Rico Volpe.
Dude, Rico Volpe for Halloween this year. Real quick, man, we're running up against it. Eddie Hearn says Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the Anthony Joshua Usyk fight, which is in London and seats 62,000 people. That's what he's aiming for to have the fight in London.
That's awesome.
I hope that fight happens. You're the one that said they need to have those two fight, the other two fight, then the winners.
I got a client, Carmine. May have to take the plane and take me over there for that fight. That'd be fun.
Well, glad we're invited. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
You have a great time.
Thank
You have a fantastic time. Mike Tyson, by the way,
Yeah.
8 children.
Wow.
Whoa!
How many babies?
I would have thought 2, 3, maybe
How many
8.
babies?
Well, that's he currently has 7. One of them is deceased, but
Yeah.
he's had he's had 8 children with 3 women. In addition to biological children, Tyson also includes his wife's second oldest daughter as one of his own.
All right.
His second wife.
Oh man, we got to have a whole episode on what he paid.
But
for
Holyfield.
Wow.
Vander's got him beat.
Oh, Vander's got like 12, 14.
I don't know.
No, I thought it was George Foreman. I thought George Foreman.
No,
had-
Holyfield's got a
Vander's
ton.
I think he's got 12.
Yeah, I think
No, maybe
Vander,
11. Maybe 11.
he's got a lot. Vander Holyfield's got a ton. But hey, look, while Grant looks that up, we want to thank all of y'all for paying attention to Lights Out with Lou Savarese. Check us out on the podcast. Want to thank Max Sports TV
Yes.
for putting this show on. And if you can't find us, go to Max Sports TV, go to YouTube, go to wherever we're at. And man, we'll be up there. Check out all the shows that are up on the podcast. But man,
Holyfield has 11 children with 6 different women.
there you go. I don't know.
That's a lot of personalities.
I'll put it in the next show on who has the most out
That's
of
what
all
you
the
call-
out of all the boxers.
That's what you call spreading seed right there, man.
Man, I'm having trouble with 3 kids. Damn.
And we'll end on that for Lights Out with Lou Savarese. I'm Jeff Michael, Grant Miles. This is Lou Savarese. We'll see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m., y'all.
Peace.
We out.
Thank you, guys. That was fun.